Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, good. I couldn't hear anything, so I didn't know what was happening. It looks like we are live, so we're straight in.
We're straight in. Let's go.
There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, from wherever you're calling in from.
How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well. Mr. Rodman, how are you?
Doing quite well, no complaints. Excited to be here.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so let's just give it do you want to give it a minute, wait for the stragglers to join, or do you want to get started?
Sure, we
No,
can
definitely. Yeah, sorry, go on. What do you think, Bear Rodman? I'm just curious because you were here first, Michael. Have you been warming up the crowd? What's been going on?
Well, I've had some technical difficulties, but I just got it started.
Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm happy to go when you are. Assuming that we've pressed the button so it's streaming out onto Twitter as we speak, right, Michael?
Yep, it says we are live on both Twitter and YouTube.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Okay,
Probably be good to do some intros, right?
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some intros.
So, everyone, thank you so much for joining today. We have a very, very special AMA. Today, we'll be going over our integration into Kodiak Fi, our double cash out campaign, and one lucky winner will also leave today with a starter account. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to our panel today. We have the big boss himself, Danny, CEO and founder of Foxfi, and Bear Rodman, core team member of Kodiak Fi. Now, Mr. Rodman, I kind of want to give you the floor here. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and about Kodiak Fi? I know a lot of our users are probably curious about what you're building.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kodiak is Berachain's native liquidity hub. We have a suite of or I guess we have a kind of a full suite exchange native to Berachain. So we run the largest spot market or spot exchange with about 80% of volume capture. We recently introduced Kodiak Perps as well, which is the topic of today, which is built on top of Orderly, and we've since become the third largest Orderly one DEX, and I believe we rank within top 10 in comparison to like the hype builder codes by volume. We also have the Kodiak Islands, which is our automated liquidity manager. This now holds over 200 million in TVL, and it makes us the largest ALM in all of crypto. And we have some other products like the Panda Factory, which is a no-code token deployer, and some other fun stuff on the side.
That's great to hear. And this integration into Kodiak Fi is just our first step in bringing prop trading on chain. What are your thoughts about this integration?
Yeah, I think prop trading is pretty big, just generally speaking, for people that are looking to start trading and educate themselves as well as like have some skin in the game. And I think for us, like we're always we're not forgetting about the little fish here, right? Everyone has like an inherent right to trade and should be able to, and Foxify really helps us do that.
Perfect. All right. So along with our integration into Kodiak Fi, we have a special campaign that's going on. Danny, do you want to talk about the double payout promotion that we have going on?
I do. I think we should let's do introductions because I know you, Michael, and I'm thinking, well, who's this guy? Why has he skipped the introduction? And I'll do my own introduction, then I'll pass back to you, Michael. So if you're in Foxify, you know me. So Danny, founder of Foxify. If you're new, if you picked this up on Twitter or you've come from Kodiak, what is Foxify? Foxify is really our brand name for our ecosystem. Funded is our application. Funded is an on-chain prop trading app, which solves lots of the problems of prop trading, right? So the biggest problems with prop trading is that most of it's just bullshit, quite frankly, and that's only possible because of Web 2. So in one hand, you're offered this huge sum of money. that seems too good to be true. And as they say, if it seems too good to be true, it normally is. And then the way these businesses cover themselves is they make it really, really difficult actually for you to make any money. So you go in there with all hopes and dreams, thinking you're trading hundreds of thousands. You're not really. It's basically a computer game, or booking as we call it in the industry. And they're doing everything they can to stop you getting paid out, because they're, ultimately, if you're successful, then it's their pain, right? Because they've got to pay some of those deposits that they took from you back to you. So whilst they say that they want to educate traders and help you become a professional, you can punch your boss in the face, all of this stuff, that's actually the last thing they want to see happen. Because if you're successful, it's costing them money. If you're unsuccessful, they're making money, and that is their business model. So what Funded does is it plugs into leading established players, Kodiak obviously being a huge partnership for us, and it brings exactly that, right? So Kodiak having huge success with their perpetuals. What Funded does is it sits on top. It's completely legitimate, and you start off with 5 times the capital that you deposit, and that scales. On a starter account, actually, you can 100x, and we'll go through this in a minute once you've done your intro, Michael, but you can basically 100x your capital by proving that you can trade, and because you're trading on a real market, you're trading on Orderly One through the Kodiak platform, then you're trading against real market makers, and when you win, you're winning real cash, and actually that's a great thing. It's fantastic, and we want to see traders be successful. So that's kind of us and me in a nutshell.
Yeah. I got so excited introducing both you and Mr. Rodman that I forgot to introduce myself. Now, for everyone new here, my name is Koji. I am Chief of Growth here at Foxify. I've been in the crypto space for about 5 years doing business development, and I'm really excited to bring prop trading on chain. I've been a prop trader for about 3 years. I've been a funded trader for about a year now. So I'm really interested in this model, especially with how these B-book model prop firms are stealing capital from traders, essentially. So let's get started into showing off the Kodiak platform. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. Alrighty. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yep, I think so.
All right, perfect.
Well, let me check the stream because can't see it.
Can't see it?
Yeah, I don't see it either.
How about now?
There you go.
There we go. Alrighty. So for those of you that are familiar with the Kodiak platform, we've added a new section over here. So we have 2 different types of accounts. We have the entry account and we have the pro account. Depositing $100 will give you an immediate 5x in capital, giving you 500 in USDC, and you go through 6 levels of account sizes. So once you hit your profit target, you'll get promoted to the next funded level, and until you reach $10,000. Now for the pro account, if you deposit $500, you get instantly $2,500 in capital, and you go through 4 stages up to $10,000. Danny, do you have anything that you want to add to that?
Yeah, just in terms of where we are with this, so you're kind of seeing behind the curtain now. So this is sort of live testing platform that's deployed at the moment. So this, you won't see this on Kodiak at the moment, but just so people understand how those levels work. So the first, there is a drawdown. So it's very generous versus platforms in the market. And if people do some quick math, right, you'll be able to work out that you deposit $100, I have $500, and I have 20% drawdown. So there's some operational and liquidity risk of running the system, but largely that first level, you've got 5 times the amount of capital. The drawdown is kind of your deposit, and you need to show that you can kind of make it through the levels. And you do that really by, there's no funny trading rules. You just need to be able to hit the trading target, and it won't let you just do it in one trade. And that's not because we're afraid of that. It's because once you get to the next level, we start assuming a lot more capital risk. Actually, each level we assume more and more capital risk on the trader. So it's really important actually that somebody who passes a level with a number of trades has demonstrated a level of skill versus, you could just open an account and, 2 accounts go short one direction, long the other direction in one trade pass. So you do need to show a bit of activity to show that it's not just a fluke on one trade. And that's only the real requirement. As long as you hit the target, you can hold positions overnight. You can use trading signals. You can hedge. There's literally no restrictions whatsoever. As long as you're relatively active, you start off with, I think you have a week at the first level, and then you earn time every time you trade. So it's totally dynamic. You build up lots and lots of time, and if you want to take a few day break or whatever, so super flexible, because we want to make it as easy as possible for the trader, because it's in our best interest to see you succeed. Because when you succeed, you're taking money from the market maker, which we all love to see. And so actually, we want that environment to be as flexible and as easy as possible for the users, so that you've got the best chance of success.
That's great to hear. Now, once you deposit into the smart contract, whether it be the entry or their pro account, it'll automatically create another account with the funds. And it's quite interesting, actually, because you can trade both your personal funds and your funded challenge simultaneously. So once this is live, once you have a funded account, it will populate in this box over here, and you can toggle between your main account, where you can trade your personal funds, and between your funded challenges. Now, like I said previously, we do have a double cash out promotion. Danny, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so this will be a first come, first serve promotion. So maybe talk about the journey first. So what happens once you get through the levels? If you just go to funded there at the top, and you'll see learn about funded. There you go. This is a testing environment. So does anything happen when you click it?
No, it does not.
Okay, we didn't pre-test that. It was good. There's live UAT testing happening right here. But anyway, so you click on learn about funded, and it will just tell you how the challenges work. So the important bit is that once you pass the first level, you get to withdraw 80% of profits you generated. There's a little toggle where you can set it to auto promote. So if you want to leave it and leave a trade to run, once the system calculates that you've got enough now to pass, it'll actually close your trades for you and promote you, to make sure that you don't miss that opportunity. Nothing worse than, we've all been there. You kind of come back and actually you wish you'd taken profit, and it's gone all the way up and come all the way down, and you've missed your opportunity. So there is like I say, a toggle there, and it will just automatically promote you if you're in the right position to do so and have 100 points, which you need to earn. But once you get to that point, you literally instantly withdraw 80% of profits, click to go on to the next level, and then off you go. And once you're into that next level, actually the funds jump up very quickly. As I mentioned, on the starter, you start off with $100 deposited, and you have 500, so 5x. If you pass one level, that becomes $1,250. So things get quite serious really quickly. And the same on pro, actually. You start with $2,500, which is not an insignificant place to start, but you just pass one level, now you have $5,000. And anybody trading with $5,000, if you have a good week with that, then you can do very, very well. So double cash outs, where do they fit into this? So when you cash out, you will receive, and there is a cap at each level. So it's based on what would be the minimum 80% cash out. So for example, there's a whole Medium article which we can share that explains all of this. So you pass the first level, I think $375 is what you'd need to do on pro. 80% of 375 is circa around $300. So you cash out $300, and then you'll receive another $300 sent directly to your wallet. You don't have to claim, you don't have to wait. The cash out is instant, and then it will get doubled, and that'll be half in Fox tokens on Berachain and half in USDC actually on Berachain. So double cash outs for the first $10,000 of cash outs once we go live, and then plus 50% bonus on the next $10,000. So if you cash out $1,000 and you're in that first 10K, simple, your $1,000 within sort of the levels that are mentioned will effectively get doubled. So we've written a whole sort of like multi-page article that explains all of this. Long story short, pass, get paid, and you get a capped amount of your cash out will be doubled into your wallet.
That's awesome. So I'm starting to field some questions from the people watching. And the first question is there isolated margin on Kodiak Fi? Mr. Rodman, I'll let you answer that one.
No, there is not. There's not.
Okay. Let's see. And then we have another question from Crypto Kalane. When is the plan to go live? Danny.
Sorry, I just want to just add on the isolated margin question. I understand where that comes from. Somebody I know, he always, when he gets asked about isolated margin, he always flippantly says, "You don't have to put all of your money in the trading account." Yeah, which is a great point. But I understand why people like isolated margin. What you can do is you can run multiple challenges actually at the same time. So so each challenge.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, go on, Barry.
Oh, I was gonna just say, I guess if you kind of think about it, if you think about your like Foxfi account and your main trading portfolio, your Foxfi account kind of acts like an isolated margin account as long as you don't have multiple positions open. And in the near future, margin will be added to Orderly.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's effectively like a small isolated margin account. So when you deposit into Kodiak to trade, that's different from depositing into your funded account actually. So your funded account and your Kodiak funds just for trading perpetuals, those two funds won't mix.
When is the plan to go live with Kodiak Fi, Danny?
Great question. Very soon. We try not to put specific dates on things because I haven't yet found the development team that doesn't find an unknown on the journey at some point. But as you can see, the system is live. People are using it. We shared a brilliant win actually from one of our live testers earlier today who did super good on a Bitcoin long. Everything looks pretty good. So you just got to keep your eyes peeled. And obviously have your USDC ready because you want to be first in the queue for those double cash outs.
That's great. All right. So, Mr. Rodman, do you have any current campaigns that will be coming up with Kodiak Fi? Any new product releases that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think the first thing is like yesterday we announced the conclusion of our Black Friday competition, and in addition to that, we announced a new competition. It's our Christmas or Xmas competition. There's 69K and $69,000 in USD that is up for grabs, and these rewards are split across all of the top volume traders on Kodiak Perps. So if you are using a Foxfi account, you're also eligible to compete in that competition. We also have the Orderly UCC competition, and this is $150,000 competition that ends in mid-December. So you have 220 some or 200 almost $230,000 up for grabs in competitions right now. And yeah, I think those are a great opportunity to boost your rewards even if you're using a Foxfi account. We have some cool integrations with some teams like TreadFi that are coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, and are these campaigns P&L based or are they volume based?
So for the last 2 months, we've done mostly P&L based, but this competition specifically is a volume competition.
Wow, that's huge for funded traders because we've done that before, and yeah. So look, you do the math, guys. If you deposit $500 past one level, you got $5,000. The sheer volume that you're able to do with a much smaller deposit than you would need to do that sort of volume otherwise is absolutely huge. So that's huge news. We need to make a lot of noise about that. That you'll be able to trade your funded challenges, and they will count towards your other trading competitions. Did I hear that right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Wow, big news.
Yeah, instant 5x in capital, and you'll be able to gain more rewards through these volume-based campaigns. That's great to hear. All right, I'm fielding the floor for questions. If any of the audience members has any questions at all, feel free to post them down. Happy to answer any of them.
I have a question, and I'm going to put Mr. You keep calling him Mr. Rodman. It sounds very formal. Do we call you Barrow or Mr. Rodman?
Yeah, I'm a fan of being called Mr. Rodman. I don't mind.
Yes, it has a
Mr.
very
Rodman.
grace to it.
Brilliant. So I've got a challenge actually. I've got a challenge for the Kodiak team. Will the Kodiak team accept a challenge to do a head-to-head funded challenge versus the Foxify team?
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll get
Okay.
if you guys didn't know, Aristotle is our resident perp trader. So
Oh
that's
shit!
competition.
I didn't know that. I wouldn't have. Maybe we're busy for the next few weeks. Yeah, we
like to
we
rise
have
to the
no
occasion.
talent.
I like to rise to the occasion, so I'll happily take that challenge against Aristotle.
There you go. Okay, great. Look, typically what we've done before when we've done these actually, because I have sort of put you on the spot, but I think it'd be great sport, is we chuck up some tokens from each team, and then we do basically just do like a bit of a competition, maybe like 3 or 4 traders from each team, and then we deuce it out on the leaderboard. It's all very live, all very raw. And then the winning team then gets to distribute the tokens to their community. So the pain then lands on the losing team. I will say we've done this 4 times previously, and we've lost 3 times out of 4. So don't feel like you're being tricked here into something that's a bit of a trap. You know our track record isn't great, but but our enthusiasm is huge.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. It's going to be a Kodiak Fi versus Foxfi showdown.
Let's do it. Yeah. Other news, I do want to add a little bit of a plug that the Fox token will be migrating over, not migrating, sorry, take that back. We cannot use the word migration because it's not a migration, but we will be putting significant liquidity on Kodiak for the Fox token. And we would expect reward for liquidity providers as well. So if you're a Kodiak liquidity provider or active on Bearer Chain, or even in the Foxify community now, that's another utility for the Fox token that's going to be coming as part of this partnership.
That's great. Let's see.
So I'd love to ask Mr. Rodman a question. Where do you see the market going, my friend, between now and Q3 26? Tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish I had the crystal ball to look into, but I think the S&P inclusion of MicroStrategy is pretty bullish. So hopefully we see some bids here, but we'll certainly see. It's a tough market.
Cool. So do you think we see another all-time high in the next 6 months?
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So we can't nail you down to a big prediction.
Yeah, not at the moment, probably not. Hopefully,
Cool.
I mean, hopefully we see. Hopefully this new leg continues to 100K, right?
Yeah, we want all the bears to realize that it's just short term, right?
So Michael, you tell us then. Come on. I need somebody to give me the tips here. What's going to happen in the market the next few months?
Let me rub my crystal ball real quick. Well, honestly, I'm expecting more downturn, to be honest, with all the macro conditions going on. I have everything liquid for the most part, and I'm just waiting to DCA back in. That's my strategy.
Smart man's right there.
That's interesting. I always remember somebody. This was back in this must be 2024. I remember a guy I met in Dubai, and he said, "I've got a big bag of stables, and I'm waiting for that big dip." And I remember Bitcoin was 37K, ran to about 80K. And obviously has never really troubled anything like those prices again. So it's a tough one, isn't it? Because it always turns when you least expect it.
No, for sure.
Cool.
All right. So I do want to field some last questions from the community. Let's see. If anyone has any questions in the audience, feel free to share.
This is your last chance, guys. Last chance to ask Mr. Rodman.
You might have to change your name to Mr. Rodman.
Yeah, but yeah, really appreciate you guys putting this together. And I expect, a lot more marketing between Kodiak and Foxify in the next couple weeks as we get this live. And yeah, really excited to see what some of the smaller accounts can do once they get their funded accounts.
Yeah, really excited to see what kind of campaigns we can do, especially with your new volume-based campaigns coming on with the UGC. I think it'll be a great tie-up with our funded accounts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. I'll be dusting off some USDC myself, I think. That's huge news.
Question from Raider number 42. Do we auto-promote to the next funding level when we hit the % profit? So there's a toggle for the funded application. You can either have it auto-promote or you can let your trade run by toggling it off.
Yeah, because some people go beyond it, right? You can, there's no limit to how much profit you can actually make and cash out. So we have seen people go way beyond the profit target just because they've got a high degree of confidence of the trade they're in, and then they've closed, and then they've sort of clicked to promote to the next level manually, but they've cashed out so much more. But that's in your hands, really. I think the positive of having the auto promote is that you don't miss the opportunity, but you also could maybe leave profits on the table, but at least you lock in the promotion, which is huge, right? If you go from 2.5 to 5K, it's you starting to get into a very sort of a different level of earning potential with those sorts of funds. But at the same time, if you're in a great position and it's got a long way to run, but it's a tough call, but you can have it either way.
No, definitely. So I think we're about good with the AMA and wrapping up here. Danny, Mr. Rodman, do you have any closing thoughts to share with the audience? I will take that as a no.
No, I was just leaving Mr. Rodman because I do like the sound of my own voice. So I thought I'd give him a chance to speak. But if he doesn't have any comments or questions, mine is just a big thanks to the Kodiak team. Actually, they've been, one thing in DeFi is, when you're on a team is you get to see what teams are really like, right? Away from the communities and away from sort of the crowd, and you can see that it's a super team, very professional, super hardworking, great to work with in the background as well. So yeah, super excited about where these guys are going.
It's great to hear. Yeah, we're super excited to be working with the Kodiak team. But with that being said, I just want to thank all of the participants that came here today. As we said in the beginning of the AMA, one lucky person will be walking away today with a starter account. We will announce that live. We'll announce that live on Twitter in our Discord once we have picked the lucky winner. And yeah, that is the conclusion of today's AMA. Thank you again, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys putting this together. We'll do another one here shortly.
Great stuff. Take care.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.